I'm sure there was at least one time in your relationship or dealings with a narcissist that you felt some sort of jealousy. Sparking jealousy, especially in a romantic setting with a narcissist, is something that happens a lot. Jealousy is a really powerful tool that narcissists use, and in this video, I want to talk about why a narcissist wants you to be jealous like all the time, and therefore, why do they try to do this constantly? And of course, what do they actually get out of this? Hi there and welcome back. My name is Jess. If this is your first time here and you want to learn about narcissistic abuse, start now by subscribing. Join me on my weekly live streams I host every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where I answer questions from survivors. If you want to talk privately in depth about your situation, you can email bookachatwithjess@gmail.com to inquire about my rates and appointment times to schedule a one-on-one chat with me. If you'd like to support the channel and get stuff for doing so, join the Survivors Army. You'll be recognized in my video intros, you'll get bonus content, early releases of all of my videos. All of that information, links, and more are found in the video description just below. So why the narcissist wants you to be jealous? Let's jump right in here. Number one, obviously, it's a hella self-esteem boost. Most of the time, jealousy is sparked in a relationship like this because the narcissist is flirting with somebody else. So always keep this in the back of your mind as well. This is a self-esteem boost, and there are other things on my list. But also remember, this is also them basically trying to get more people on the hook, new supply. Maybe they're hoovering and chatting up and flirting with old supply. It's an added perk, as I say, to everything else on my list that we're going to talk about. It pisses you off and they get somebody else on the hook. Okay, so the self-esteem boost. Narcissists need like a lot of those. They need attention all the time, seriously, gross amounts of it. Ew. Your reaction to it, however, gives them a really nice ego boost. They can see that what they're doing is causing you discomfort, causing you jealousy, causing you anguish, and this makes them feel like they are really something special. You would just really regret losing this because obviously look how upset you're getting. You're crying, or even if you're angry and yelling at them, there's some kind of passion that you're putting forth there. This one really doesn't need much of an explanation. I want to throw it in here that this is more a covert tactic. And I'm not saying that an overt can't or won't do this, but getting you to be jealous just to boost their own ego is kind of a covert characteristic. Your overt narcissist is much more obnoxious and they kind of get more ego boosts on their own. They don't really need to kind of like sink you down and make you feel like shit in order to get it. Not to say they can't, it's just kind of something I want to throw out there. Number two, your jealousy gives the narcissist a lot of control and power over you. And I literally just did a video about power and control. Jealousy was not on the list because I kind of knew I wanted to talk about it here. I felt jealousy kind of deserved its own video. So this gives them a lot of power and control over you. Them openly flirting with people or attempting to triangulate you, make you jealous, makes you more than just jealous. It's upsetting and you're sad, you're pissed. And when all those things happen, you start to lose control. Not that we ever really have a whole lot of control with a narcissist. Some are so good at what they do that even when they think they have even when you think you have all the control, like I did, you don't have jack shit. They're very, very good at that. But if you fear that somebody you love is talking to somebody else in a flirting, romantic way, you might try harder to get their attention. This is certainly what I did. I'm sure I'm not the only person who did this. You try harder to show them that you're better than this other person. They don't need this other person. You can do just as much as they can, if not more so. So you overcompensate, more supply, more money, more attention, more sex, whatever. Personally, I was told that me being cheated on was my fault because I didn't give enough attention. This obviously sparked a lot of jealousy in me, so I tried harder. I did pay more attention. There were more things going on. So it works, believe it or not. The narcissist will see you jumping through hoops to keep them, to make them happy. And again, this goes back to the ego boost. They revel in it. It shows them that you are so into them, you won't go anywhere, and really nothing more than that. Says, I have power. I have control. Look what I can make you do. Just by maybe chatting up a cute girl at the grocery store, or maybe just by, texting my ex and, asking him like, hey stranger, what are you doing? Look how much I can get. Look how much control I have over somebody. Again, also possibly more supply for them. A good old Hoover, 2 birds, 1 stone. Let's get into number 3. Duh, it's just a test. This test is a more overt tactic, but again, any narc can do this, so I don't really want to get into, is an overt or a covert more likely to do this, because we need to be aware of all these signs, regardless of what kind of a narcissist or toxic person in general we're dealing with, because toxic people like to run tests like this. A narcissist will test to see if you're going to be good supply. They'll test to see how caring you are, how forgiving you are, and of course, how jealous can they make you. So again, any narcissist can do this, and most of them do. They flirt with somebody else or do something that sparks that insecurity, that jealousy in you, and then they proceed to let you know that they did this because they needed to see that you cared about them, that you loved them. This defaults again to you fawning and swooning over them to prove that there's no need for them to do anything like that. Oh, of course I love you. Of course I care about you. There's no reason for you to talk to anybody else. Here, what can I do for you? Yeah, let me give you some more supply and some more bullshit. So are they really doing this because they need that validation from you? Or is this just a lame ass excuse for chatting up somebody else? Honestly, I think this is a little of column A and a little of column B. More supply possibilities, ego boosts, they get the power, the control. You're chasing after them. In some cases, we're tripping over ourselves to prove our love to somebody who really, at the end of the day, just doesn't give a shit. But I think a lot of them hide behind that guise of, oh, well, I need to know that you still care about me. Are they getting some validation from it? Sure, but I think really this is just a lame-ass excuse for talking to somebody else. Again, I think that's something that my good old saying, if you've been around long enough, I say this all the time, varies on a narc by narc basis. So there's a lot happening here. And I think a lot of these things go obviously hand in hand. They're getting validation. They're getting the ego boost. They're making you jump through hoops to give them more attention. So I think a lot of these things, these are different talking points here, but I think they all kind of go hand in hand. A narcissist wants all of this shit all of the time. So therefore, you're kept nervous and jealous. Number 4. This is just good old-fashioned revenge. You cannot put it past a narcissist to want to get something over on you if they feel as if you have wronged them. The problem here is that narcissists get so fucking butthurt and jealous and insecure and, about everything. There's really no way most of the time you can even know when they're going to decide to get some revenge on you, because you're probably just going about your day as normal. You don't realize that you've said something that's pissed them off or done something that's pissed them off where they feel they need to get some sort of like revenge upon you. I had a dude one time who I believe had a lot of overt narcissistic tendencies, and he tried to hoover me. I didn't realize it was a hoover at the time because I hadn't done research on this. I wasn't this was many, many moons ago. So I didn't realize what was happening, but I got hit with the I miss you text. Classic hoover. I miss you. So I wasn't really sure how to respond at this time. So I just didn't say anything, stayed quiet for a couple of days. I was like, the dude's kind of a douche, but what do I do? For right now, I'm just not going to do anything. Best thing you can do, by the way, if you're not really sure how to respond to anybody in your life, just don't say anything until you give it a little bit of thought. So about 24 hours later, when I still hadn't answered the I miss you text, I got another message, and it was one of those emojis that had like kind of one of those like, really, you're not going to say anything. You're not going to answer me. It was like kind of one of those, I can't explain what it looks like. I don't really use a whole lot of emojis, but, like, oh, you're not going to tell me that you miss me too. You're not going to jump through hoops and be like, oh, yay, you're back. Long story short, you could tell the dude was butthurt that I didn't jump right back to his text. So I saw that. I still decided to wait a few days. I don't know. Some days we're all wearing the petty crown. So anyway, when I did respond, I responded with, Well, duh, which is a great response when somebody says they miss you, by the way. Of course you do. I know how great I am. Again, he did not like this. So I waited like almost a week to get back to him. Then I said, well, duh. And so he when I responded, well, duh, he didn't text me back for like 2 or 3 days. I got nothing. And then when he did decide to come around again, he told me that he didn't see my message. Bullshit. You were waiting on me. You didn't like that I didn't answer you in 24 hours and you were hitting me with second messages. So, while this isn't like an actual like revenge story, because no like revenge was taken out on me besides like a bullshit little silent treatment and pretending you're too busy to see my messages, you can see how absolutely broken somebody toxic gets over something so fucking minor. And that's the point that I really want to stress here, is it you don't even really even know what you did sometimes when they feel like they need to get revenge on you. Nonetheless, whether you know what you did or you did it on purpose or you didn't, or who knows, you're going to be told something along the lines of, well, you did A, B, C, X, Y, Z. So yeah, I talked to my ex, or so, yeah, I chatted with the girl at the bar when I was out with my friends, or something along those lines. In other words, good old fashioned revenge is just that, screw you, you hurt me. And instead of coming to you and talking to you like an adult, I did this. So bleh, get away from these people who think that you need to be like taught a lesson, by the way. Okay. I'm a grown ass woman. We're all grown ass people. I don't need to be taught a lesson because if I do something you don't like, how in the fuck does doing this, what does this teach me? Instead of just coming to me and saying, hey, Jess, I actually don't like when you do whatever the hell it is. That's the only way. Believe it or not, I don't have a fucking crystal ball, and none of us do. So get away from somebody who thinks that like you need to be constantly taught a lesson. Teach them a lesson to have a cup of go fuck themselves. Number 5, relationship check. This is very closely related to the whole testing thing that narcissists do. But this is where the narc tells you that, all this bullshit they're doing, all the flirting, all the chatting up, hoovering, whatever, is just a thing that they're doing to test the relationship, to make sure that you two have a stable, secure relationship. They need to know that you have a really strong, really healthy connection and bond, blah, blah, blah. Well, I did it to make sure you really love me, something like that. Seriously, I hate all of these because they don't make any sense, but very little that a narcissist does actually does make any sense. So, this can be accomplished and, that's fine. But if they would just talk to you about these things, it would be so much easier. That's why all this is garbage. Honestly, I see this being, something that like, this is like stuff survivors have to do because we can't actually have a conversation. We have to do things like maybe spark a little bit of jealousy to see whether or not they give a shit. But the empath, the codependent, the survivors like us are the ones who give like way too much of a shit. So that's garbage. You don't have to test anything. If you're having an insecurity, just come to me and talk to me. Again, this is asking a lot of adult behavior from somebody who's mentally about 6. So there is a lot going on when it comes to jealousy and triangulation. Hell, narcs can triangulate you with something that isn't even real. I remember hating the dude's cell phone, something that wasn't even alive. You know what I mean? But that was how he got all of his cheating done. He did all the mobile games that, he spent way more time doing than he spent time with me. But yet when he cheated, I wasn't spending time, with him. This damn phone went in the bathroom with him. And once he knew I started poking around and trying to figure out what was going on, he started sleeping with the phone under his pillow. So that's what happens. You can be triangulated and made to be jealous of inanimate objects that don't even have life about them. And this is where I want to know what you think about jealousy and the narcissist. Why do they do this? What did I miss? What things were done to you to make you jealous in your relationship? Did it work? Spill the tea with me, like always, in the comments below. Please throw a like on the video. It's quick, painless, and it really helps me out. Please share the video if you think it might help other survivors, and subscribe if you haven't for more videos dealing with narcissistic abuse. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.